So off we go.
Off we go.
A warm welcome to Mary. Hello, Mary, and so nice to. I'm so glad that you accept the invitation to chat. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, Luchana.
Welcome.
So good invitation. Yes, welcome everything.
Yeah. Although I don't know where is this here, in which I welcome you, but never mind.
I've given up worrying about the language, I think.
Yeah, it's just the language.
Yeah.
Mm. So can you tell us, those who will watch this video, those who are watching at the moment, few words about the story of Mary, or something related to the story of Mary? If you don't mind, of course.
No, it's fine. This Mary was seeking for a very, very long time, what seemed like a very long time. I think 20 years happened before the first realizations. And those were 30 years ago. So it wasn't as expected. It was known that it was seen, that there was no person here. But that very first seeing seemed to bring on many years of suffering. Or not bring it on, but that's what seemed to happen next, was not bliss and joy and all the things that the character is expected to happen. But there was a knowing that there was nothing else to be seen, or a feeling that there was nothing else to be seen. So everything stopped. The seeking stopped. The interest in things spiritual stopped. Life lurched from one apparent catastrophe to another for a long, long time. And I really don't know what brought me to LU or to non-duality. I just saw that I was starting to, I think something must have popped up by mistake or just by accident online, and it was non-duality. So I started listening to some of the YouTubes and began to wonder, oh, well, maybe there's more to do than just see. Or
yeah, of course.
Which seems crazy now that wasn't noticed before, but it wasn't. And so when I came to LU, I asked for a guide, and Lubo responded, and it's just been a beautiful process. The whole thing has been so totally. I think there were a couple of times when I hated him because he kept saying the same question, which meant, okay, she's not got it yet, let's ask it again. all that was just this going on. And it was also known that it was just this doing its thing, reacting, being triggered, all the things that still happen sometimes now. I mean, this is not as it was expected to be, just like the other.
Yeah, let's talk about all these fancy expectations which we all had at a certain moment. Yeah. What happened to those expectations? Like, let's say 24/7 I'm going to be in blissful state, or there will be only joy and no other emotion.
Yeah, so many expectations, and really it seems like the expectations are the main thing that are in the way of accepting that. Well, it's crazy because we say these things like being through the gate, but they don't seem real at all, do they?
Exactly.
Because there's no gate, so there's no difference in a way. So you say before, but language is just so awful, isn't it? It's just, you can't speak non-duality with a dualistic language at all. It's hard. So what are expectations of bliss and joy and love, and what's gone wrong, and why am I not getting that, and all that self-talk that was going on for many years, it suddenly became empty. It didn't matter so much. It started to be accepted that whatever was happening here was happening here, and that was perfect and right. And there came a point where peace began. Peace, really, a sense of safety and peace began to take the place of that wanting all these other things that were expected to come along with some kind of enlightened seeing. And the peace was so beautiful. Very simple, nothing special at all. Just a peacefulness and an undisturbed. And it came and went for a while, but it was always there. It was always there, waiting, and coming more to the fore. And then it was, well, I don't care about liberation anymore. I don't care about getting to the gate or crushing the gate or any of that, because this piece is just so perfectly complete.
Totally.
But the process continued, and I it's difficult to remember, isn't it? Exactly.
Totally. Two things come now. One is a question about causality. How do you see, or how do you experience causality, cause and effect? Is there such thing as cause and effect? Like, let's say something popped up in YouTube, probably, and then something else, and then this leads you, or inspiration unleash, or whatever. So how it is happening in your own experience? I mean, causality. The idea of causality.
The idea is kind of doesn't quite make sense now, because it's seen that everything is arising together. Everything is, there isn't subject and object. There isn't one thing causing another thing. There isn't that separation between something that acts upon something else in the way that I used to believe or see it as. So I think it was what Lubo said about, he was talking about language, or about how when we speak in our language, we speak in terms of subject, verb, and object. And I think either he proposed the idea, or the idea just arrived in that conversation, where it was seen that there was nothing static. There was no thing. The thing is what the mind makes separate from the happening. So if it's all just verb, if it's all just happening, apparent doing, but happening by itself, then there is no thing to cause any other thing to happen. There is no subject. So everything is swimming about as object, and all of it this that we all, there's no separation, there's no gap. So whenever, I think this kind of still the apparent experience of a cause and an effect, but it's known that it's not real. It's known that that's actually just the way the senses and the mind works, and the thoughts get claimed by an apparent doer, or an apparent, thinker. But at the same time, it's all empty. It's like all the things that seem so solid and so obvious are actually empty of meaning and empty of purpose. So I don't understand how this all happened. It's just happening, just what happened, what is happening. I'm sorry, I can't be clear.
Oh my goodness. There is no need. Yeah. Something, or yes, something, even it is not a thing, speaks beyond words. And this can't be hidden. This can't be hidden. It's impossible to hide this. Yeah. It speaks through everything.
Yeah. It's amazing to go out and look at walls and know they're empty. And it's not, if somebody had said that to me, to this character, oh, that language is awful, to me, let's just say to me, why not?
Yeah, why not? There's no problem
not?
saying, I need mine. This is mine orange juice,
yes.
and I'm going to drink it now. Cheers.
Cheers. Can't remember what I was saying.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about the memory and time.
Right. Memory.
What is memory in Mary's experience?
I would have been able to answer this quite easily once. Is memory. Well, I suppose it reinstates itself when somebody asks me, where have you come from? How old are you? What's been happening in your life? So the story starts to get
unfolding.
Yeah. Again, and but I don't believe any of it. I do and I don't. It's hard to describe. Memory is it's almost like that gets made in the moment.
Yeah, it's just another.
It's a story.
Yeah, another thought which comes with the content of something.
Yeah, that's it's quite an interesting question, because you'd ask yourself, well, why the same story comes?
Yeah, because
the same thought comes.
Because no one is in charge of choosing the story. Anyway, like the same stories are keep coming.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite amusing to have a story, I think. It makes conversation with people,
Yeah, we are talking right now. Why not?
We are, because it's the story is that,
it's also
this happened, and the gate was crushed, and that's a story too.
Yeah, totally.
And I remember thinking, because I had those quite dramatic realizations of the total that can't be said. It occurred to me not so long ago that had become a story. Something's prized, this prized possession of this experience that made this character special in some way, when the whole rest of the story of this character was like completely not special, not achieving anything, not successful in anything. So in the story, this character felt itself worthwhile because it was seen as worthy enough to have been given these experiences.
Wow. Yeah.
And then this was like a little tin badge. And it was seen that it was a little tin badge, and just in the way of everything. Yeah. The idea, the memory, there's something that had been tried to be made into a thing and attached to for the sake of an identity.
Exactly. It is amazing how the identity starts creating itself from something like this. Yeah, but those experiences were never been ours. they were just happening, not to me or to you. Even though I hadn't such a profound spiritual experiences, but yeah, there was a lot of laughter here.
Well, no, they don't happen to anyone because even it's seen that the someone that was thought to be there is seen to completely go, dissolve, not be even whatever that is that comes in, just sweeps that aside because it doesn't exist. It doesn't even sweep it aside. It kind of goes, oh, whoa, oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Goodbye. I'm not here. I'll go.
Yeah, and very often clinging to those experiences, it's a constant dismissing or denial of what's happening right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there is a clinging for something which was never there at the first place. And what's here is totally dismissed, like.
Yeah.
But what to do? Yeah. You said something very beautiful a few days ago when we had a meeting, LU meeting. I will try to quote you, but I'm not sure if I'm going to repeat the exact words. Something like, there isn't anyone who is not awake. Can you expand on this? It was very beautiful. I'm not sure you said something like this, but
I can't remember what I would have said, but I think that's the other surprise, where you spent all those years as a character that thought you were on a spiritual path and that you were different from people who weren't on a spiritual path, and now that can become something like, oh, people who have crushed the gate and people who have not crushed, there's this whole separation between the supposedly awake and the supposedly not awake. And I think I always had a problem with that. Have I always had a problem with it? No, but I couldn't have, because I can remember a time when my desperation to be important in some way in the world needed to make myself special in that way. But now, and for a little while now, I find something coming up to insist that we're all awake, especially in those moments when it seems to be becoming a thing that we're this group of people who have. So going into groups of people, especially those kinds of groups, is quite difficult.
It can be tricky. Yes.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Yeah. Totally. I'm going to say something, but I don't want to interrupt you. But totally agree here.
Yeah.
It can be tricky.
It is, everyone is awake. And it's still that need to be special if it's not seen that way, I feel. I don't know. It's quite new to be thinking about it in that way. But everyone is so beautiful. Everyone. And I think where I used to live before I moved, I had a neighbor, and he was, I think he, in his story, there was a lot of depression and a lot of difficulty and sadness, and so he became the neighbor who was like shunned a little bit. And I used to wonder, it not for the reasons of not being spiritual enough or not being awake or anything, just because he was different and, you know, shy and, you know, cross sometimes. And I think it was his gift to me more than anyone's, this, to see the beauty in him. He showed me that beauty, and never more will I ever be able to see anyone as not this.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Such a gift. I'm so grateful to him.
Oh. Oh, sweet. Yeah, this very idea that there is this slightest sense of superiority or something like showing up. I started noticing this, I don't know when exactly, but around my family, let's say my relatives, mom, brother, my brother's family. But they are all speaking non-duality, you know, they are all doing this, what they are doing. And they are completely fine and happy and at peace. I don't know if it is related with the aging. I don't know. but there is this like conversations very often, almost each time is circling around life, around this. There is nothing but this.
Yeah.
And also in the this, like, how to say, non-important talks. There are not no important talks, but let's say even in these chats about politics, weather, vacation, there is also silence there, a lot of silence.
It's all empty, isn't it? And their emptiness is no different from their emptiness is no different from our emptiness. I mean, that what everything is
empty.
It's all the same. It's empty, and it's all the same. It's all the same. I've come across it quite a bit recently. The more I've talked to, not necessarily the LU groups, but, you know, other groups of people who are wanting to speak about these sorts of things and don't have anyone to speak to. And it's always something that comes up. Well, you know, they're not really awake, and so they don't understand, and we are, so we have to teach. And I can't go.
Yeah,
it's so not. Well, I don't know why I'm judging it. I'm judging that, aren't I? So why would I be judging that? It's where that's, you know, the same thing. It's what's happening too. Yeah. But there is a definite discomfort with it here every time I meet it. And some would say that would be a reflection of that same element in one's own. I can't go with that either. Just
you don't have to. You don't have to. Yeah.
All my theories have gone. All my ideas about how this works have gone. But basically, it's all this.
Yeah.
And nothing.
And what's left when all these ideas and assumptions or beliefs, how things are, how this works, what this is, when all these are gone, what's left?
It's just love. It really is just love. It's empty, and it's peace, and it's can't really be said what it is. Can it? You try.
And and here we are trying to say what it is. It's ungraspable. It's indescribable.
It is, because you can only describe something through concepts in language. And this, if we want to call it this even, is devoid of concepts, devoid of attribution, devoid of anything that you could say it's like this or it's like that. It's just beyond conceptual thinking.
Yeah.
Well, and I think when I talked about all those years ago, the realization was very much void, empty, nothing, black, deep, not in a bad way, just. And this is like aliveness coming. And the multiplicity of form coming as formlessness. That's the empty. That's why it's empty, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's because it is formless. As who knows why or what, but being experienced, obviously, somehow, in the mystery as all this.
Beautifully said, beautifully put it in words. This reminds
me of something. That's everyone, isn't it? That's everyone.
Yeah, yeah. And this is the best part.
Yes, it is. Yes.
There is no escape.
There's none.
We are all like here.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're all as we are.
Yeah, exactly as we are. Totally lovable, totally belonging, totally innocent.
Yeah. Innocent's a great word, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone, everything. That's the emptiness as well. I don't know why we use such a funny word for it, because emptiness, a lot of people don't like emptiness and void, and
I don't like, because
it's just
probably because there is something scary there.
Yeah.
But it's so consuming. It is not scary. It's which reminds me
freedom.
Yeah. A guy, I think it was Richard Sylvester. I don't know if you know him. It is an English
I've heard the name.
Yeah, it is an English guy, but I've read somewhere, or I've heard him saying, it doesn't matter what was the story, but the words were something like, when the emptiness is seen, or when the void or this nothingness is seen first, this is how it goes. Like the first is emptiness is seen, and then the fullness of all.
Wow. So for this character, apparently in time, there were 30 years between emptiness and fullness.
Oh, wow. But where are these years, may I ask?
Yeah.
Where are they?
Where are they? They're just in the story.
Yeah, where is yesterday? Where is even 30 minutes? Yeah. Where are 30 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Where?
Gone.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, yeah. Just
no time.
You couldn't make it up, could you?
Totally. Yeah, there is such a joy sharing these empty words. Such a joy. I don't know if I mentioned, I think I mentioned you before we start recording, that it is quite time I didn't speak with anyone. I mean, I didn't make videos like this with chatting with someone. I don't know, there was this, probably because we arrived here, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just, if it was before, there would be like thoughts like, oh, something is not quite well. You should do something.
Yeah.
But now it's just, I'm just sit and watch movies unfolding, the stories unfolding the way it is. And it's all fine.
There's no need to do any of it, really, is there? Unless you actually
absolutely. And there is no, and there is no need. And also what amazed me each time is there is no value. I mean, there is a joy of doing it. There is no, I'm doing this because, or.
Yes, nothing extra, nothing added on, just the joy of the now of it. Yes, but I think that's, things can get like that, can't they? If you, like when they begin, they're spontaneous and they're wonderful. And sometimes they become a thing that you then have to keep doing, or you feel, or people want you to keep doing.
Or people are expecting something, let's say.
Yes, all the expectations, and you don't have to, and you kind of take them on, don't you? And you want to share and respond.
But it's again a beautiful play of life. I mean, life is playing all the time.
It is.
All the time.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I think that's one of the nicest things about this is the ability now to just say, to just not bother with all those things and not feel you care. When I say not feel you care, I mean, it doesn't matter that you might be seen to be any particular non-giving or it's just,
or whatever.
Yes.
Or non-spiritual, or
yes.
non-dual.
Also non-dual. Talking to all those unawakened people as if they're equal.
Yeah. Totally.
I don't know where that thought came from. Obviously here. But yeah, I think it is nice to talk to people who, get this in a way. But the main thing is about connection and, sharing, not necessarily sharing words. So you can meet someone and talk about the weather and it's the same.
Absolutely.
Isn't it? So nobody has to be anything for you to be able to have a completely joyful exchange. Even if that's an argument about something, it's all the same. It's all the same. So no one's excluded.
There is impossibility of exclusion.
No, it's that I think that comes through some kind of fear, maybe, that sometimes people fear losing something.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes people will gather together so that to keep reminding themselves of something, but they don't have to, because there isn't anything, is there, to remind yourself of. I don't know. This is all so new. Who knows what will happen next?
Yeah, no one knows. This is the best part.
Yeah. Oh, I speak to you next week and say, I'm not talking to anybody.
Yeah, and that would be.
That will be fine.
Also fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. It is so simple that very often, I'm so amazed about this. It doesn't stop amaze me, the simplicity. Maybe you've also heard people are saying, it is simple. It is so simple.
Yeah. Yes, I heard so many times that. And the other thing, obvious, people used to say, it's so simple. And it's so obvious that it's overlooked. And I'm not getting that. And it's not that I'm not, I think it always was so simple. When I say always, it's hard to think that it not being simple was ever real, so that this is now simple.
Exactly.
But it is simple because of the emptiness, because it's all empty. And there's no knowledge in it, all these words and all these ideas about how it is or how it comes about, or, you know, that the practice of thought watching or any of that, it's all added on for a purpose, presumably, but absolutely down to the core. It's just amazingly, beautifully empty. And if that's what people mean by the simplicity and the what's overlooked, yeah, I guess that is.
Yeah.
It's difficult talking about then and now. What?
Yeah. What is then? What is now? Even
because this has always been
the very famous present moment, the very famous present in the now. Is there any other place for you to be?
Well, yeah, I think often I would conceive of the present moment as being a moment somewhere between past and future, but it's not about time. The present moment is not about placing that in this now. It's something else, isn't it? It's like right the way transcending all that time, and back again to the same place of nothing happening, and everything happening. Oh, I can't do it. Sorry.
Well, no one can.
Yeah, but some people do seem to be able to talk very sensibly about these things.
Yeah.
But I think
it depends probably, I don't know, on each apparent individual or each apparent different expression.
Yes.
And that's the beauty as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, I noticed something. The more you try to express, the more words are coming.
Oh,
strange.
Say that again. I'm not quite sure I understood.
The more you are trying to express this with words, the more words are coming.
Yeah. And none of them fit.
No. but this do not stop words from coming. They keep coming.
They do.
It happens quite often. There are thoughts, but there is absolute there is no desire, no slightest impulse to engage. As if, why bother?
Yes.
Something like,
yeah, that's it. Yes.
Okay.
So there's no problem with any of them. No problem with any of the thoughts. They can do what they like, can't they? They can come and they can go, and they can stop and they can start, whatever. I mean, they're going to do that anyway. So, but yes, there's no need to be taken as anything real.
As truth or as authority?
No. Gosh, especially those, oh gosh. I think whenever people ask me a question and I try to answer, or well, when I stop trying, something will come up and that will be said. But there's also along with it, almost like I always want to put a disclaimer in there that says none of these words are the truth.
Yeah, totally.
None of them.
Yeah, don't consider this as truth.
Yeah, no. Exactly.
Don't believe me. Do not believe me.
Don't believe anything I say.
Yes.
But it's all bullshit. Yes. So I don't know what's really going on in all that, because you watch people and they're trying to understand, just as I would in the past try to understand and begin to think I understood, and then develop an expectation or a concept about what would mean. And it's almost painful to watch that happening, to watch somebody trying to get the words and make something of them.
Use of them. This is the favorite game of the individual. Make use of it. So make use of it. You read a book, make use of it. You're sitting on the beach, make use of it.
Yeah. and yet there's this also no desire to go into silence and isolation. You know, the opposite, in fact, is coming into the world, or right back smack bang into the world.
Lovely.
With a sense of abandonment and innocence and playfulness, I guess. Yeah, because the spiritual path is so serious, and it was so serious. So
like thorough.
Yeah.
You are on a journey. You're on a journey. Walking.
You know, an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening. Yes. Do you think you'll do more of talks now, or who knows?
We'll see. I don't know.
Somebody told me you're married. Did you get married?
Me and Lubo, yes.
Yes.
In October last year, yeah.
Oh, last year. Oh, right.
Yeah, but it was like a joyful event. Nothing changed.
No,
it's impossible. I didn't do anything to deserve this. It's just happened. It's all given. It's not of my doing. Nothing is from my doing.
Yeah. It's a great relief, isn't it, to find that?
Because otherwise you are like,
I know. Yeah, trying to force things to be the way you think they're supposed to be.
Yeah. It's so nice to see it like this.
Yeah.
So how life unfolds now for Mary, for the character Mary? What's happening?
Well, it's all new. it's all new in a new place. I went into the woods yesterday.
Ooh.
And where I'm living is a lovely house. It's right in the middle of lots of green rolling hills and forests, streams. And so you can walk down the field and into the forest, and then through the forest follows the river or stream. And then there's where you least expect it, there pops up this little cafe in the middle of it all.
Nice.
Which is perfect. Tea is perfect. So my life now is I don't know. I don't know what I'll do each day now. There are other people around in the house, which is also new, very new. I've been living a very isolated life for many years. And more or less everyone here is into non-duality. So that's it can be good. It can also be very strange.
Yeah.
Because everybody's idea is like, I think with language, say, I seem to be in a place where I can't be bothered to do the proper non-duality speak. I have to.
So funny.
I have to try and remember, but when I'm off guard, I'm just saying, oh well, this and then I get I'm reminded that this never happened, or and I kind of I haven't really answered that, and don't know if I will answer that. We'll see what happens, but it's not in the language. It's not in the saying the right words, or I can see that it's a practice to speak like that, to sort of maybe attempt to reprogram the mind. I don't know. It's just not where I seem to be. I seem to have landed in just being the same as ever.
How sweet.
But with something wonderful. So I'm not careful about using the right words. Are you?
No.
No.
Not so. There is such a freedom in speak whatever comes to say.
Yeah. I agree.
There is such a freedom to not calculate how your words will be interpreted, like how someone or how this should be interpreted. No. But yeah, in the story of Luchana, there was a time when she was calculating what to say, how to please.
Yeah. How to be right.
Especially this. Yeah. Oh.
Always. Yeah.
If someone wants to reach you, shall I put your email or something in the description? Would you like?
Sure, yes. Always welcome. Everyone always welcome. I have no idea what happens from here on in.
Yeah, don't worry.
I'm just watching it now. It's lovely to talk to you. So nice to do this.
Oh, I'm so glad that you jump like with full on.
Yes. I think at a certain stage there was a kind of, I noticed that I did anything in the past. All the processes, whether they were on a so-called psychological level or a spiritual level, whatever they were on, they always ended with there is no myself. Even the psychological exploration ends up in, you know, right at the deepest place, just before it, there are two. There's a lock and a key, a male and a female. And then the lock and the key dissolve and there is no myself. Even looking at the psychological setups that the frameworks that we appear to embody, the answer at the end is always there is no myself. So there was knowing that, but not experiencing it, or experience is a not very good word either, but there wasn't the total seeing of that. And I think with Lubo, there was a decision to just go with it, rather than
no matter what.
Yes, no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. This is the crucial part. This is the game changer, so to speak.
Yeah.
Apparently, no one is saying this. No one decided to go, no matter what. But yeah.
No, because the other thing was that the happening of whatever, if it is a different seeing, it might not be. Oh dear. Well, because there was also this decision to move to an unknown situation, completely, you know, actual physically moving house, getting rid of stuff, and it all seemed to come together. So there was a kind of leaping off of some kind in the character Mary's physical life as well.
A lot of change.
And then, and then there was difficulty with internet, so I lost contact with Lubo anyway for a bit. And I think
I remember.
Yeah, there was a gap anyway. So yes, it's almost as if that leaping happened on, well, did it happen even? This is just ridiculous. I'm sorry.
It is.
I keep apologizing for not being able to.
Yeah, no need. It was so lovely to speak with you.
Yeah.
I think we can do a second part. Why not? We can chat again.
Yeah.
Would you like?
Whatever you like. Yes.
I just love these answers. Like,
why not? No, I love chatting with you.
Well, I'm going to stop the recording from now.